Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Welcome, Chloe. And I've been waiting for this for quite some time, as you can tell. And guys, for the ones who don't know Chloe, you should just leave the webinar right now. I'm just kidding, but I'm just trying to say that she's somebody that I've been following and looking at what she does and what she writes for quite some time. But just in the interest of everyone else, Chloe, I just request you to kind of introduce yourself, talk about all the different things that you do.
Have we
And
got 2 hours?
yeah, I think 2 hours going to be less as well, but let's try that.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Really exciting to be here. This is the first time I've done something like this, so it's going to be really cool. I promise you it is going to be really cool. So my name's Chloë Thomas. I am the founder of the business Ecommerce Master Plan, and this summer I acquired another business, Ecommerce Tech. Doesn't really tell you a lot about what I do, so let's get into that. So I've been in the industry for very nearly 20 years. I started out working for a UK high street retailer, managing their catalogue mailings, email marketing, and the website side of things way back in the early 2000s. And then I ran a marketing agency for 10 years, mainly doing Google ads, and then we diversified into Facebook ads as that was starting to launch, sold that, and now I get to pretty much just think, talk and write on the subject of e-commerce from random perspectives. Actually, no, mainly from a marketing perspective. And I run 2 podcasts, the E-commerce Master Plan, the Keep Optimizing podcast, and then the E-commerce Tech website, which is all about helping you find the right tech. And I guess the guiding principle across all of it is trying to provide the content, the advice and the information to enable all of you, all merchants in the space, to make better decisions in your business. So to help you understand what things you should be considering when making decisions, and to help you understand what your options are. And that basically is what I do.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Chloe. That does give a huge perspective in the whole things that we do. So I appreciate that. So guys, why we're here today is to make me a little nervous for sure. But let me tell you exactly what happened and this whole thing went about is, like I mentioned, that I had read about Chloe's work and, of course, saw what she does in LinkedIn. And I saw her at an event. There was a few months back. And she was really running from one meeting to the other. Like, you'll recognize her in events. This is how she does it. And I tried to go and say, like, hi. And she gave me a look like, hi. Of course, it was like a strange puzzle look saying, who's this random guy coming and talking to me kind of a thing. And then I told her that, you know what, I know you don't have time, but this is what I am and what I do. And then she's like, all right, okay, fine, let's talk. That's how it is. And then I followed up on LinkedIn and we spoke about it. And I said that, I'd like to show you what we do. And more showing, because where she's coming from, I wanted to really get her views on what we build. Does it make sense? Doesn't make sense? How can we improve, etc., etc. Then we thought the best way is in the most cheesiest but useful line, if I can say that, Chloe is doing this for you so you don't have to, because Chloe is kind of reviewing our platform. And this is the first time she's never seen it. I've not told her anything about Cooee as well. So the idea is that we can take her guidance and support and feedback from here and try and improve in all the things that we need to. And at the end of it, have some good conversation.
I would say I'm very impressed with your bravery at doing this, Shresank. I think that is very cool. Both being up for being reviewed in this way, but also doing it publicly, I think is very, very cool. And the other thing I have to say from what you're just running through there, it has been so hard trying not to know what you do. Trying to go, because we've had some long conversations about different things, but trying not to get into on a better understanding of Cooee. So I come into this really kind of cold it's been challenging. So I'm quite relieved we're actually finally doing it now.
I am so happy, so glad, and let's kickstart. Right. So, guys, for the interest of everybody, what I'm going to do is I have a very short slide deck that I put across. I wanted to bring you all up to speed because not sure everybody has the context, what we do, etc., etc. And then we're going to dive down into from the Shopify app ecosystem perspective. Last I checked, there were about 10,000 apps on Shopify App Store. On an average, there are about 60 to 70 of them getting released every week. The number has started skyrocketing since 2019, 2020. There are different aspects of different things that you will get to hear, that the space is very crowded, multiple apps, replicating apps. Some are, the expensive ones which are built over, some are just knock off copies done from different regions, etc., etc. But at the end of it, I think all of us will agree that Shopify is the perfect skeleton, the way I call it. And then depending on the brand, size, what your needs are, there are different body parts and different apps available to just plug in to go and run your entire function, right? So 10,000 apps on the App Store. But do we need one more? Can you imagine 10,000 ways to solve different problems? I think everybody must have pretty much done everything all about it, right? It's about time. I've spoken to some agencies who've been on this ecosystem since 2014 as well, right? So I don't know what would you say, but do we really need one more? Let's kind of try to find an answer of that in this perspective is conversion rate. On an average, global conversion rate has been 3%. And the amazing thing about it is, irrespective of all the AI and deep tech and all the amazing technology that we talk about, this number hasn't changed in over a decade. It sounds so crazy, but that's the fact of it. Your Facebook ads, targeting, and generative AIs and things like that can have done wonders over the past few years. So many companies doing amazing work, but again, majorly focused around acquisition, around ads, because that's where majorly internet is, right? Ad driven. So every big company wants to show that I'm the best place to run your ads. That's why I'm giving you the best tech. But the responsibility of converting the guys that you spent money to bring in on your store is left on the merchant. And that's where I think the tech has failed, if I can say that one word, in a lot of ways. Now, I want you to just look at this text for 5 seconds and just think about what I'm saying, because this is a very bold statement. Every single app on this 10,000 app ecosystem at the moment assumes that the visitor coming to your store is ready to buy. Think of yourself in their shoes and say you look at this amazing store, while just walking by, and they're saying, hey, I'm going to go inside and I know exactly this is what I want to buy. And this is where fundamentally human behavior does not match with how the apps think. And if we take it mathematically, statistically, if only 3% people are converting, that means 97% are the ones who are coming to your store are not ready to buy. But then you have the most amazing welcome 20% discount email pop-up, which is being shown to everybody. That just defeats the entire purpose of customer engagement or even understanding where they are. And this is what Cooee is trying to change. And how we are doing that is based on intent. The intention of every single visitor coming to your store is very different. And intent is very, very real time. Okay, let me try also give you another perspective to this whole thing. At Cooee, we've been in Shopify ecosystem for about a year now. And when we launched the platform, it was all about personalization. And we wanted to simplify personalization. And we started talking to a lot of merchants. And then the idea became very simple. 3% people converted, and Cooee will try and help you convert and help you increase revenue from the 3% converted people. But if you look at the statistics, it also says that more than 80% of your visitors coming to the store are first-time visitors. That means you have no previous data on them. That means your personalization tech cannot work on them. So we had to work in a very, very different way to understand what the visitors are doing in real time. And that's where intent comes into play. So what we do is we look at the source, UTM or campaign the visitor is coming to your store on, and what they do on your store in real time. We look at more than 40 plus micro behaviors. And based on that, we understand during their journey, what intent are they on at a particular time, so we can engage them and then try to make them advance in their buying journey. That is something we do uniquely for every single visitor at scale in real time. And yes, none of those 10,000 other guys are doing something like this. So now, with this context, what we request Chloe is, Chloe, I'm going to go and jump into the demo after this. But what we'd like from you at the end of it is, these are the 4 most standard parameters how experts like you rate platforms. So we kind of want to understand ease of integration, because that's one of the biggest challenges that sometimes is very complex for app developers to install apps, takes a lot of time, effort, etc. Then how soon the platform can start generating insights, what are the kind of analytics, what are the data, how do I really enrich myself, because there can be so much data but so much information. Then the running of the operation, how much time it takes, etc., is also very critical, because resources are always limited when you are in e-commerce. And innovation and an overall feel of what really Cooee does. So with saying that, Chloe, any questions, or do you think it's time to unveil whatever we've done?
So many questions. The very first question before we go into the demo is, who's your target customer? Because I've got I'll be analyzing it as myself, but if I've got in mind who you're mainly looking at, who your core ICP is, then I can not ask irrelevant questions.
Sure. So the answer to that is, the most simple way to look at it is Shopify Advanced and Shopify Plus customers are somebody in our prime ICPs, because they are the ones who are spending money on bringing traffic. It's not just organic. Because when I show you the platform, I'm also going to tell you that we can actually pick up every single acquisition and performance marketing channel and run campaigns on them on intent. Mm-hmm. So anybody who's spending money on ads is something that Cooee can really deliver value to.
Got you. Okay, so it's the Shopify Advanced being someone who's using Shopify really well rather than being on a different package, and then Shopify Plus being they're on the Shopify Plus package.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Just worried I'd missed a development there, so that's good. Still on top of things. And then it's vertical neutral, so it could be fashion, could be gift, could be furniture. We don't care.
We don't care, because we're going to tell you that there's a base trained AI model that goes live on every store, but then that model starts retraining and continuously learning itself with that particular store's buying behavior.
Got you. Okay. And then is it visit specific, or does it track visitors over time? So can it recognize I get that when it comes to the website, it works out how ready to buy someone is, are they high, medium, or low intent, but is it also then including within that, this same person was here 3 weeks ago, which I know in some instances is impossible to track, but does it attempt it?
It attempts it. I think that's a perfect word. We can identify if the person came back from the same device. Mm-hmm. And in case if they go and log in, then that cross-pollination anyways happens. So yeah, that way, yes, it looks at every single incremental session that, a visitor is coming into.
Got you. Okay. I think, yeah, that's all my questions for now. Let's do it.
So gonna stop this. Let me start sharing my screen. All right, let's go to the Shopify App Store. I wanted to give you a full experience.
Oh, right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning, right? And this is where all my fingers are crossed. You can't see it, but so let's go install. So that's one click. And what we start doing now is we automatically create an account for you on our side. And we started syncing ourselves with Shopify Store. So what we're doing is we're looking at all the products, SKU, imagery, etc., inventory, IDs, etc. We're also looking at past 60-day data in terms of orders, which products were sold, what is the price, and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. We started to generate some insights there. So when you come to our interface, you can automatically see that these are the top performing products or top sold products and things like that. And then there's a bunch of AI that we use, some generative AI and our own intent AI at the end of it.
Okay, so what we just saw happening on the screen there, behind the scenes, it was, so you said you put like base code on everyone's site and then that algorithm learns more as it goes along. This section, it actually starts learning straight away. So at the moment you go live,
yes,
it's already adapted to your business.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then that last bit, step 4,
mm-hmm.
Am I right in thinking that's created stuff so I don't have to, that the user's going to see?
Partially, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Let's do continue. We have different pricing plans for different ones. So let's just go subscribe to one. We offer currently a 21-day free plan so people can, experience our product and only start paying once they see value in it. And we help them with professional onboarding. We do an intent analysis report, et cetera, for them. So something like this is what you see once, the interface opens for you. Mm-hmm. We're going to use a test demo site here with some data already populated, so I can take you through the demo. Right? But the whole idea here is, one, what I was talking about, now all your products, stock, inventory, etc., everything is synced on the store straight away.
And is that an ongoing sync?
Yes.
So if I add a product, it updates itself?
Absolutely. Okay. Then what happens, it takes some time depending on the traffic, but this is where the whole AI comes together to show you the intent of all your visitors.
Okay, so on day 1, you've graded my last 60 days of visitors to give me that lovely colorful bar chart.
Yes.
So in some ways it's a bit of gamification, so that me as the person logging in and using it, I'm trying to make the yellow smaller, the orange smaller, and the red an awful lot bigger. Arguably.
Yes, arguably. That's a good way. I never thought about it that way. But the whole game is that once you understand the intent, then you do your entire customer engagement strategy accordingly and kind of improve on this matrix. So now let me kind of tell you what this intent really means and how we do it.
Yeah,
right? This is the entire magic sauce of our platform.
Yeah, I probably should have re-warned you. I am terrible for asking the wrong question at the wrong time when it comes to demos. So feel free to say, Chloe, we'll cover that later. That's
no worries. But that's exactly what I'm here to, right? Because from a user perspective, these are the questions which you get first, and then that's what it is. So, I'll try to do my best to answer them. So what do we really mean by intent? Here, once we analyze your traffic, and this is what AI does for every single store, very, very personalized and individually, it shows then that 15% of your traffic was no intent. That means 15% of your visitors came and bounced off from your store within 3 seconds. Okay? And in real way, there is absolutely no point in engaging with them, trying to show them anything here at all. And even if you did, this is what impacts your CTRs in a very terrible way. right? So the best way is to just leave them out. But there's a very interesting perspective to this, because we work with more than 100 Shopify brands at the moment, right? We've seen on an average, this percentage hovers around 12 to 18% for most of the brands. So if your no intent is, for example, showing 28%, that basically means the amount of money that you're spending on your segment, on your meta ads, is not the right one.
Yeah, I could not. I'm obviously, this is not part of the review, but I totally agree with you. There is a level you're never going to get those those no intent people below. They're always going to be there. Otherwise, you're just not driving enough traffic and you're not getting enough brand awareness. But if it's higher, I would bet money that it's ads that are doing it. It's either going to be badly set up Google Shopping campaigns or badly targeted Facebook ads. That's the cause. So it's like you say, if it's above was it the 12 to 15% average, you said?
Yeah, it's 12 to 18%. Yeah.
Go look at your ads, everybody.
Absolutely.
Go look at your ads.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because at the end, conversion rate is one thing, but the only thing that founders or merchants wake up and look at, what was my ROAS, right? That's the one number they all eat, breathe, and sleep. And the Cooee's intention is that how can we help you increase that ROAS and also decrease your CAC? Then comes the low intent. So 33% visitors for this site were low intent. That means this was typically their first session on the store. It could have been an Instagram click, just looking at a creative. And they are the ones who are on the homepage trying to look around, etc. But they don't show signs of going beyond, the collection page. And this is the point where we humanize customer engagement, and we tell all our brands is, do not sell to these guys. Don't offer them a discount. Don't go and tell them that this is my bestseller. But this is the place where you have to go and tell them, why should they even consider spending time on your store? Mm-hmm. What is the differentiation factor between you and those 20 other apparel stores and 30 other lipstick stores, kind of a thing, right? So the founder story, the brand story, what do you stand for? Is it sustainability? Is it organic? Is it something else? What is your niche? Because only then they'll give you their time, attention, and wallet eventually.
So it's at this point you recommend putting up the messages which you'd include in an email welcome campaign. This is who we are. This is what we do. This is why we do it. All that great story, connection building stuff.
Absolutely. And what you're trying to say is welcome campaign that comes later, where you're trying to form only, but this is preemptively trying to do it because they might not be ready to buy, a dress right now, but maybe in 2 months down the line when they will be, we are trying to increase the probability that they think of your brand as well, right? Mm-hmm. Then comes medium intent, the guys who come on the homepage, go to collections, look at products, play around a little bit, so you show that they have a journey, they've spent some more time considerably on the store, there's some amount of clicks, etc. But then what the AI also thinks at this stage is they don't know which one to buy, or you have to help them make a decision which one to buy. So these guys, the strategies that you can bring in: bestsellers, top trending, FOMO, social proof, reviews, and discounting. Because this is the stage where you nurture them and tell them, what? Yes, this is one of my best things that you would want to try and, experience our products for the first time. And then, of course, the product has to be good for them to come back and do it. So that is medium intent. And then there are those high intent guys who come to the homepage, collection, go to PDP, add to cart, remove from cart, or they go to search page where they, exactly know the product that they want to search, come to PDP, and then do all these things, because this is the time. This is usually their second or third session, which again, most brands don't consider. Mm-hmm. Right? And the other thing is, this is the time when they're always comparing you for price at different places. They're trying to think that, can I get it cheaper? Or something else was this? Can I save my free shipping? Or those kind of abandoned cart scenarios, right? So what you do at this stage, don't confuse them. Don't take their email ID, don't cross-sell, don't try to show them bestseller because they already know kind of thing what they want. Just give them a small nudge with a 10% off or a free shipping. So what you're also doing is you're not giving a 25 to everyone trying to, improve on your margins. Right? So imagine this being done for every single visitor uniquely based on their visitor journey. And the last thing before I move further, I want to tell you is we set these automations or these nudges, which are shown as a pop-up or a widget on the store. But where it gets delivered for every single visitor is uniquely again decided by the AI. So if there are two low intent visitors, the pop-up or a widget will be shown to both of them at very different places, not necessarily on the home page. That also is personalized for their individual visitor journey.
So as a merchant setting this up, Cooee is taking control of the segmentation of the user base. So I don't have to worry about segmentation at all. That's done.
Yes.
And then the deployment of the messages, Cooee's dealing with all of that. So I don't need to worry about how many scroll seconds they do or which page. It's person based and the algorithm's doing clever things. So the thing which I have to do then is work out what messages, and the stuff I might test is what messages are working with each group, which obviously you've just given us a good rundown of the types of messages you probably want to do.
Yes.
But any good e-commerce person is going to take that and go, okay, that's a good starting point.
Yes.
Let's get testing. So how do we, so it's taken like 2/3 of the workload and the thought process from me, which is a good thing.
Yes.
And so what I've got to focus on is the marketing side of it. Oh, sorry, the marketing message side of it, I should say.
Right.
Okay.
And
how do I do that?
All right. So there's a lot under the hood also which is being done. So what we do is as soon as somebody onboards us, we do this intent analysis, etc. And then we generate this, right? So this is the store that we are at. And we kind of generate these kind of things at them. So this is under the hood. Nobody has ever seen this, right? So you're the first one who's, and that's why it shows the Cooee internal tool as well.
Okay.
So we are analyzing all the different KPIs, which are very necessary.
So this isn't something a merchant can see on their own installation.
Not at the
You're
moment.
doing sneaky behind the scenes stuff to impress me.
Yeah, but not at the moment. But the idea is that we expose all this information to the merchants as well straight away. Right.
So this is a work in progress.
This is the work in progress.
This is coming soon.
This is coming soon.
Okay.
And why I bring it up now, because this is exactly the question that you were answering is, okay, all this is done. Now, what do I need to do? So if I have to again say, this is the whole Chat GPT one way is now based on the transaction, based on what the visitors are doing on your store, we have already given you 7 different strategies that you should implement.
Okay, so it's not just we'll do your segmentation, we'll do the deployment. No. It's also going, here's 20 million things you could do. Here's the 7 or the 1 or the 3 that are going to make the most impact for you. So it's helping us do the bits that are going to make the biggest difference first.
And it's giving a reasoning for everything. So when you see here, increased session duration, since the average session duration is only this, 75% session completed is less than 81 seconds. We should run a campaign to increase engagement on your website. Right?
Got you.
Those are the kind of behaviors that then we bring on to this. And how, please.
Okay, so that last page, that's great. We need to increase session duration. It's given me some vague examples.
Yes.
Improving nav, improving relevant content, personalized recommendations based on user behavior. I get there's like a million and one things I could do to do each of those 3 things. It's not telling me do this campaign in Cooee now. And that's what I want it to do.
Yes.
So is that on the front end?
That's work in progress.
Okay, cool.
That's work in progress. The work in progress part is something like this, that the system is actually identifying a unique nudge for every single visitor based on all of this, right? But the way we do it right now is you go here, run a campaign, right? This will look very similar to you to Canva.
Hold on, it's a question again. Sorry, I did warn you. I would ask lots of these, and they'd be a little bit
I'm
left
so
field.
glad.
So those 7 things you showed us that are sneakily behind the scenes that are going to be coming to the front end for people to be able to access.
Yeah.
Those are useful to the human being to go, that's where I should be focusing. There's things outside of Cooee I can do to do this, like going and looking at my terrible traffic that's coming from Google Shopping campaigns, for example. But also, this is being used by the algorithm to do better anyway. So even if I ignored these 7 things, Cooee is doing them for me anyway.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
And then it's kind of like a bonus. I get to see it so I can create the creative that Cooee needs to do it better.
Around it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
Cool. I get it now.
So we are to our version of Canva kind of a layout here, because again, a lot of our customers and the creative teams use Canva. And Canva, we all love, but there are 2 major features we're missing from an e-commerce standpoint that we have focused on. One is creative automation. Is you can go and pick any template from here. And you can go and pick up anything from here. So for example, if you choose something like this and you click here on the product, because remember, we're automatically synced with all the products, you just go replace and all your products start showing here. So just go choose this, for example, and you're set. This automatically takes care of the product ID and all those things on Shopify. Absolutely.
So it's super easy setup of graphics based on everything that's already there in the site.
And then all the color, font, all that stuff is anyways what you can do. Then I want to show you, like, from a text creativity point of view, we've integrated with ChatGPT, OpenAI here. So I want to write women, fashion, summer, and I want to just generate a cool, quirky text, price drop, suggest, and it gives me, multiple options. Just go pick one. And then comes the CTA bit is where you basically decide what you want to do. So you can change the placeholder to something like a dynamic image. And this automatically can have multiple products that you choose from, can have a single product, can sync with your new arrivals and top selling straight away based on your sales data that we are syncing with. And for returning visitors, we can show them an AI-based product recommendation based on what they bought last time.
So I could, if we look at the medium intent people, which are the ones you were saying need the help, so they need the social proof, the FOMO, and that element. Of course, social proof, FOMO, etc., new arrivals, top sellers, those kind of things work, and product recommendations that have been on before are going to work well. So I could create, let's say, 2 campaigns that run to them. One which looks very similar, that's about brand new things, and one that is maybe a top sellers here's our best sellers, and then I could use your predefined list. I'm guessing that enables me to do something myself, so I could go, these are our top reviewed, or these are the entry level products or something.
So predefined list is something like that. Also, these are my 5 pieces of product that are overstocked and I want to give them away, kind of thing. So those can all come in here, right? Then I can go and select, I can do the discounting. We also have this feature for some larger Shopify Plus brands, is we can create a unique discount code for every single visitor so that they can't copy and share it across social media.
So it's not going to be listed on voucher codes or something.
No. And then the CTA, go to product, this and that, open cart or whatever we want to do. And then this entire thing you can A/B test as well with different pieces of content. Again, a very important thing. And taking forward what you just said, Chloe, I come here and we offer all the things what the traditional platforms do. in terms of features and how you can do it, but our magic sauce is intent. So you come here and select low intent, medium intent, or high intent.
Got you. So ideally, I'm using the intent options because then the algorithm is doing most of the work for me.
Yes.
But within that, I can also do start dates and end dates. So
Absolutely.
if I'm, as you may well be right now, putting together a Black Friday campaign, and you mentioned the overstock product earlier, if you've got overstock product, everybody, so this is a public service announcement, add it to your Black Friday deals and put it in your pop-ups and put it in your emails and put it everywhere. With the caveat being, of course, your bestsellers will sell better. So don't only base it on those, but it's a really good time to try and clear some of it. So I could create Black Friday campaigns right now that turn on and turn off automatically at the right time span.
Absolutely.
That feature the right products. Okay.
Yes. And we go and do this very laser sharp filters on different, segments: new only, returning only, logged in, non-logged in, purchase, non-purchase, abandoned carts, etc. So we can set automations here, because then this is a very, very specific use case with a very specific messaging that we should do. And all this can be done with intent.
Got you. So you can layer a level of RFM, a level of other segmentation on top of that intent to sculpt things a little bit more. So if you've got someone who's spending large amounts, then you can give them a different offer to those who are spending small amounts.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
And then something which we had not really anticipated, but started hearing a lot from our merchants, is they asking us that, can I use intent on my Facebook ads? Right? Can I do that on my TikTok ads? So based on UTM source filtering, we can now look at a specific Facebook campaign where you paid money and got 100 visitors, and those 100 visitors were in different intents. We can show a very complementary creative on our side to match with the messaging they showed on the Facebook side of things, to help you convert more and increase your ROAS.
So the messaging is the same from Facebook, from TikTok, from Instagram, through when they come on the website. They might not initially see it on the page they end up on, but they do see the right message at that time. So if you're running if you've got like an amazing influencer you work with, and they're doing that this week they're doing a feature on this product, you can make sure that product is the thing that comes in front of anyone who's come in from Insta, for example.
Yes.
Nice.
And also taking your example forward, that if somebody's coming from an influencer post or a URL, again, although 100 people coming from there would not be in the same stage of buying. So based on intent, to somebody we show them social proof, to somebody we give a discount, to somebody we talk about. So that kind of complementary control, because at the end of it, Facebook and all those places are a black box, right? You go and run ads and then you just pray, because you can't do anything about it. Can you increase chances of the conversion with doing something on the store with the data that you have, is what Cooee lets you do it.
So for going back to that influencer idea I was putting forward, the low intent people, you might set up something or a campaign which has a photo of that influencer. So as they're seeing, let's find out more about the relationship between the brand and this, that maybe takes them through to a blog about that relationship. But on the high intent, here's the product, go find the product.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And at the end, anybody who works in CRO or anybody who works on this side of things knows that these are all experiments, right? None of them come with like a guaranteed stick saying this is just how it's going to be. But the platforms allows you to run these flexible permutation combinations very deep, and some of them will work and some of them will not. But you need to have the ability that you can test and try these things, and that's what Cooee lets you do.
So what do the results look like? What does my analysis look like? If I want to see what's working and what isn't, how easy is it?
Right, glad. So let's go there. So let's go to now. So we've set up some automations, you're running some campaigns and stuff like that, right? So analysis, we break it down in multiple different levels. One is we look at your overall store, what was the traffic like, etc. Because this is an important thing in CRO. If your traffic drops, the conversion is going to drop, right? So it's more important for us to monitor that. We also look at the sales, how many are coming organically without us and how many are coming via Cooee.
So this is the why am I paying this money slide or
Absolutely.
page of analysis. Oh, that's why, because it's 20% of my sales.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
And that's it. And then we look at the revenue, which is coming by us, via you, what is the purchase count coming via us, via the organic and other channels, etc. We go and look at the intent, which has been in the past 7 days as well. And this is where the accuracy part of the AI is a very important thing. And I'd like to spend 2 minutes on that. So the base model of AI, when we put for every store, is trained over 500 different e-commerce website first-party data. So it's a generic model that gets deployed. And then overall, over a period of 3 months, we have seen the accuracy of this goes as high as 96%. What do I mean by that? Is if 100 people actually purchased on a store, our AI is able to predict at least 96 guys from there that this ones would buy, right? But what this also does is the most interesting case in high intents is, for example, here you see there are 72 people in high intent, but only 8 purchases. That means others were trying to look for an offer or something and we couldn't serve them. Can we go and increase this by 1%? Will it help me? It of course will. And that's how you need to, understand the whole intent stuff of Cooee. And then we go further and track the entire store conversion of Shopify across, number of past days, etc. So this is your overall conversion rate, how it's performing different days, etc. And then we also break that down by every single source of traffic, because we can run, campaigns based on different traffic sources, right? So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. And then, we kind of do this stuff. So this, again, gets up and running pretty fast. For every single campaign, we can go and see what is the impression rate, engagement rate, CTR, revenue, etc. What is the publish date, etc., and how things are going. So we have a detail of everything. Number of orders that we brought in, then there is a view orders. We can go and look at every single order. Everything is tracked on Shopify, so you don't have to do anything. And there is a detailed customer activity of intent, which is tracked for every single visitor. It's just too much of here, so don't want to spend too much time. But this is how we work, and this is the entire platform on the whole real-time intent stuff.
Nice. And I would actually say that single person journey,
yes,
another health warning coming, everybody. It's really interesting, but don't spend too much time there, everybody, yes, because you should be looking at those bigger graphs, the individual campaign. If you take 10% of your ad optimization workload and go and put it into setting up campaigns on a platform like yours, you will improve overall performance, because the ad platform algorithms are looking at how well the traffic behaves when it gets to your website. They're becoming more competitive. It's becoming more expensive to get the traffic. So if you can up the conversion rate as the costs go up, you can make a huge impact on your ROI. So I think it's the sort of thing which everybody should be doing. I have to say, it's a slick system you guys have built, from what I can see there. Without getting my hands in, that's pretty slick. I'm struggling to think of anything else I'd want in there. I suppose the only other thing would then be to connect those intents out to other places. But then actually, would you want that? Because this is about someone's intent and their behavior on that day, on that visit. So is that relevant for your email marketing? No. Your email marketing's feeding it in more than anything else.
We have integrated with Klaviyo already. So if you want to use intent-based email marketing, you can.
I suppose you could, if you're doing abandoned browse and that kind of stuff, to be pulling it into that, that would make a lot of sense. But not your headline.
But not from the head, because again, all the other tools come into play once you have data. right? Which is your email ID, phone number, etc., etc. But because 80% of your visitors are first-time guys and you don't know anything about them, Cooee comes and plays around there rather than other places. So
But the one thing you could do, and this wouldn't be integration, this would be sharing your learnings across the places, would be if you're seeing with, say, the lower intent people that you're getting great responses to a couple of reviews, then start using those reviews in your top of funnel marketing activity in other places, whether it's the inquiry list on email, the sign up welcome campaign on email, or it's your ads or whatever else. Remember that, it's like that learning crossover rather than the integration. No, impressive. Very impressive.
Thank you. I'm very happy that you got to spend the time and look at what we've done. And I think a lot of those questions are something that we get from merchants as well. So it made complete sense. And hopefully I was able to answer some of them.
No, I thought that was really good. So do you want my scores now then?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
As in,
Okay.
I was waiting for it all the way. So yeah.
So integration, I'm going to give you 5 out of 5 because clearly that was super slick from the Shopify App Store. Steps 1, 2, 3, 4 appear on the screen, and it's integrated. But also that's kind of like table stakes these days. If you want to get a 5, then you need to have made my life easier as a marketer. And the fact that the algorithm is learning before I can even see it, by looking back over 60 days, I think that's brilliant. And that it's made it so kind of easy to work out what to do and how to get started. I think that comes into integration these days. It's not just does it talk to Shopify, it's can I get it up and running within a couple of hours? Yes. Probably an awful lot less, to be honest. So again, 5 out of 5 for integration. Insights and analytics, I mean, I'm going to be really struggling to try and find a 4 here. So it's going to have to be 5 out of 5 again for the analytics, because I think that link into where the traffic sources are is I frequently tell people I don't care about your overall conversion rate. I only care about your conversion rate by channel source.
Yeah.
So if you hadn't have had that, it would have been less than a 5, but you've got that, so it's a 5. I can't read my own writing. What's the 4th one? Is it operations?
It is operations, yes.
Operations. It seems very simple and straightforward to use, especially because I don't have to remember to turn something off. One thing which we didn't mention, but which potentially should be in there, is if the products are out of stock, it stops covering that, which I was thinking as we're talking about the Black Friday, might be a level too far to go. Is all my Black Friday stocks out of stock? I'm not quite sure if
we have
that out,
pause automatically feature already. So yeah.
See, I was just going to try and give you a 4 there. I'm going to fail again. So we're going to go 5 again. It's dangerously looking like a full sweep here. I feel like I should be being more critical.
Yes, you should.
Should be being more critical. Not going to be more critical. And then the innovation. Innovation is strong, but I don't think anyone's ever getting a 5 out of 5 for innovation from me. So I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on the innovation front. And so overall, I'll give you a 4.5 out of 5, I reckon. So you can round that up to a 5 for marketing purposes. That's okay. I'm going to go 4.5 out of 5. And but with the caveat to everyone listening, which is we have just shared. This is a good caveat, Shwetang. Don't sweat. But with the caveat that we just discussed a whole load of ideas, and all those ideas are ideas. They're for you to test. So I'm saying my 4.5, 5 out of 5 for Cooee is that it's something you should really strongly consider testing. I am not saying install this and the world will be unicorns and fluffy clouds. I'm saying this is well worth your time and effort to evaluate and to test. That's where I'm coming from with my 4.5/5 out of 5.
Thank you so much, Chloe. So at the end, I'd just like to say this. So guys, Chloe's done it for you, so you don't have to.
Yeah, we're making great use of your time here, so I think we're doing like a bulk all in one.
Perfect. No, thank you so much, Chloe. It was a pleasure having you, being able to demonstrate what you guys have built. And what you said is what we tell our merchants as well, that it's all experimentation. We need to try and figure it out. We don't know your answers. AI takes time. Whoever tells you otherwise is lying, right? It is not being straight up forward, and we're not those guys. So, but we work very closely to make sure that we help them succeed, because at the end, if they don't convert more, we don't. So, that's just how it is. But appreciate your time and the support, and so glad we were able to do this.
Me too. It's always a pleasure chatting with you, and this has been really interesting as well as a pleasure. So thanks so much for inviting me to do it.
All right, thank you.